Is there something you've been waiting on, friends, to be perfect before you move forward? Is there an area where you feel paralysis right now? Well, recently in a sermon that I heard, and also in the book that I've been reading, Atomic Habits, my pastor referred to a story or a study that was done years ago, and they actually cite it in this book, Atomic Habits. I couldn't believe that I had heard it in the sermon and then went home and read it in the very same book. And it's referenced in a book called Art and Fear by David Bales and Ted Orland. I wanted to get that correct. But it basically says that Jerry Usselman, a professor at the University of Florida, he divided his students in a class. In this book, they say it was photography, and they explain that they changed the art form. In the original story, it was ceramics. But basically, they divided the class into two parts. And in one part of the class, they told the students that they were simply going to get their final grade based on the quantity of pottery that they produced. And it didn't matter how nice the objects looked or how well they were done. It was sheer amount of pottery that they had produced. And then the second half of the class would get their final grade based on the quality of one final piece that they submitted, and they would be judged just on the quality of that one piece. And so they were looking for perfection in the item. And what was so amazing and impressive is by the end of this semester, when the students had done their work and they submitted their pieces, the pieces that were submitted by the students who were judged on quantity actually turned out better than the ones who had worried and obsessed over the quality of their piece and tried to get their one perfect piece done so well, to get the good grade. The pieces that were made over and over and over again produced a better quality out of the quantity. And what this has been teaching me, and what struck me so much by this story, is how much we sit around and we wait for perfection. It can even paralyze us, it can stop us from moving forward, and it can make us afraid to take the next steps. Even as I sit here doing YouTube videos, there's times I overly criticize and think, this is not good enough, I shouldn't release this. And it's okay to have a standard of quality. I understand that. But I think too many times we let our fear of it's not good enough hold us back. And in the meantime, every time I release a new video or every time I practice some kind of habit, even if it's not perfect, the idea is that the quantity of times that I'm doing it will in the end result in a better object or habit or quality because I have practiced over and over and over again. I'm creating those neural pathways in my brain. And so I do ask your forgiveness when I put out these videos. I know I'm still learning things. I know there's parts that could be better, but there is a part of me that in this process wants to learn consistency, the art of just putting things out over and over and over again, even if it's not great, even if it can be scrutinized and subject to judgment. And it's this release in our souls of the need to be perfect, because we were never meant to be perfect. Perfectionism is something that's not attainable here on this earth. And I think sometimes Christians get holiness confused with perfectionism. There is a working out in our souls that God is doing every day to make us more and more like Him. But sometimes we get into a paralysis mode of guilt and shame because we feel we're not perfect, or we haven't mastered this thing yet, or why am I not better in this area? Instead of releasing and having grace and understanding that we are continuously growing, evolving, and trying to get there. So I wanted to share that tip with you guys, and that I'm actively working on that in my brain right now. And maybe it can encourage some of you. Is there something today that you were hesitant to do, complete, that you're holding on to because it's just not perfect? It's not all the things you want it to be. And I'll give you another example. Even your home homemakers, mamas, sometimes we think, well, why bother cleaning my house or taking care of the things I got? Because it's not that over there. It's not good enough. Maybe it's your body. Maybe it's taking care of this vessel that we live in day to day and putting good foods in it and moving your body. Well, my body is not perfect, so why even bother? Instead of just making small changes and habits towards good health and saying, hey, daily, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna move my body for a few minutes. And we put so much pressure on ourselves, so much pressure. And I'm just gonna encourage you today, can you release some of that? Can you take a deep breath and say with me, I'm not perfect. Just admit it. I'm not perfect. And embrace that and go out and increase your frequency of whatever it is you're trying to be better at it. Quit trying to make it perfect. Quit trying to have the good quality. Just increase the frequency. So something that I'm not perfect at, I'm still working on it every week, is meal planning. And I thought I'd throw in a special little tidbit at the end of this video. It is a rainy day here, and I have not had much time at all to sit down and really think through a meal plan. So I needed something that was quick and easy, and I've thrown down in my planner that I look at each week a basic layout of our meal plan for the next 2 weeks. And I thought I would just share that with you guys in case that can help encourage you today. Maybe you need some encouragement in some other home areas, but hopefully this helps with getting some food on the table for your families. I am feeding 4 children and me and my husband, so we're a family of 6. Tonight we are doing crock-pot chicken pepper tacos. This is mainly because I had leftover chopped peppers from a derby party Saturday, and this was so easy. I threw it all in the crock-pot 10 minutes before walking out the door to take my kids to an appointment. I put frozen chicken breasts in the crock-pot. I put a tablespoon of taco seasoning, 1 cup of salsa, chopped peppers, chopped onions, just a sprinkling of garlic salt, or you could use fresh garlic, 1 or 2 cloves, and then you turn it all on low. And then by the evening, you have shredded chicken tacos. You just take it out, shred it, and you put it in taco shells with cheese, sour cream, lettuce. It's an awesome dinner. Tomorrow we are having curry cabbage soup. I have some extra potatoes I need to use up and some cabbage I want to include. That recipe comes from a book I love and I've used for years called Supernatural Everyday by Heidi Swanson. And so I've used it so much. I mean, these pages just almost fall open to the ones that I love. But I'm gonna link that recipe below. And then Wednesday, I host my women's group in my home. My family, my husband takes the kids over to his mom's for dinner, so I will have leftover soup. Thursday, we're gonna do spaghetti and meatballs. That's pretty straightforward. You don't have to do something fancy every night. Friday is beef stroganoff with peas and egg noodles added. Saturday, salmon, rice, and broccoli. Sunday is Mother's Day, so don't forget about that. And we're doing a Mother's Day luncheon, but I've got frozen pizza that evening in case we're still hungry. And into next week, I've got Monday, fish sticks, mac and cheese, and peas. Tuesday, kielbasa, sauerkraut, applesauce. Wednesday, women's group again, so I'll probably have leftovers. Thursday, orange chicken, rice, and veggies, and Friday, Alfredo pasta. So that's a quick glance at our upcoming meal plan if you've just needed some ideas. And what I'm gonna link below is I have a blog that I write as well as film these videos called cracksintheveil.com. And on it, I have a 21-day meal planning guide. It's completely free. You can just click on it. And it has several of these recipes like the beef stroganoff and just ways you can feed your family for up to 21 days. So if you are feeling not perfect in that area, it's okay. And this is your excuse today to just let it go and release and enjoy and feed your family. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Morgan on Life and Lilacs. I'll see you guys soon.